the stuff that we was talking about. If you're going to have a argument with someone that you disagree with, one, please know what the hell you're talking about. Two, have your ducks in a row, aka do your own research and acknowledgement and references and everything else.
What if I'm allergic to ducks?
Three, most importantly, just know what the fuck you're talking about.
Who wants to watch me tear apart a misogynist who tried coming for me while drinking a Bud Light? Let's go.
Guns are not the main killer of kids. That's traffic accidents. Get your fucking facts straight. It's all over the internet. Look it up.
It's the confidence for me. Here's a report from the New York Post, which is basically the Fox News of newspapers. Guns, now leading cause of death for American children, CDC says. I found it on the internet. But let's continue.
Nobody gives two flying fucks about homes with two mommies. I mean, I'm sure you got lesbians stuck on the mind for some reason. It's kind of a reflection on yourself.
Oh, they don't? Interesting. Banned books in 2022. My Two Moms. Seems like they really went out of their way to not give a shit about something. But I'm the one with lesbians on my mind. I wonder what your internet history looks like. But let's keep going.
And I'm sure sooner or later, somebody's gonna just come on here and fucking annihilate you anyways and take your theories and just rip them to shreds.
Oh, you mean like I just did to you? See, that's what happens when you spit in the wind. It just comes back to hit you in the face.
Because I don't have the time or the patience to do it right now.
Oh, but you clearly had the time, because you made this video. But it's not the patience you lacked. It's the facts. But continue.
You seem like the type of person that has to be reminded to breathe.
Says the guy whose voice is quivering as he makes his video. You see, it says there that you're a vet. And even though you were very rude and condescending, I thank you for your service. But guess who else is fighting for our rights right now and sacrificing their lives? The children of this country protecting your Second Amendment. You mentioned you have a son who's a high school sophomore. I'm sure he has TikTok. And I just hope he doesn't see this. For his sake. But you kind of nailed my sign off. So I'll let you finish this video.
So, bye.
First of all, I'll be the first to know that I don't have the high range of production that I want on this show. Especially my editing and things like that. We have noise in the background sometimes and everything else. And I apologize, but as you can see through some of the videos that I've shown in the past, we're getting better and better and better every year. So the first thing I want to tell this dude, whatever that industrial fan that you got going on in the background or motor engine or whatever the hell it was that you were playing in the back, could you turn it off for a second? You sound like you're in somebody's warehouse. And this was a last minute dish. Second of all, gun violence is the leading cause of death among children, have been out for years now. This is not a month-to-month situation. It has been years now. You need to do research when you say something as heinous as that crap. It's not cute or funny or catch somebody off guard or whatever. Third of all, stop telling people about lesbians and everything on somebody else's mind when you're the one who actually came up with that thought. Like, okay. So, I'm done. I'm done. Everybody's speechless? What in the world?
I mean, there wasn't much for me to really say about.
She said it.
There wasn't much to say about that video. I mean, I don't care about his background noise because, wherever you record. It's TikTok, whatever. But he obviously didn't know what he was talking about just because he was just regurgitating what happened.
That poor little boy suntan his balls so much that they have just shrunken and wrinkled like a raisin. Mickey.
Great comment.
Marvel, you don't have to put up everything.
I do, especially from Mickey. I actually kind of do.
Because then I'm going to start laughing at Thea's going to think she laughing at
And I'm not laughing at Thea, but
I'm not.
Right, I should have waited. Why did this guy in the video keep looking away from the camera every 2 seconds?
Thank you. I thought I was the only one that noticed that.
He did that for effect.
Like,
that was
that's just his
situation.
Yeah.
That was the look away because I'm thinking, and then I'm coming up
Yeah.
with something, and I'm thinking,
But sometimes people
and
do
I'm
that.
coming up with something.
Like,
Or he
I look away
wanted to-
sometimes.
Or he wanted to know, did you smell what he was cooking? Because he did that whole Rock thing. Like when The Rock does that dramatic turn, the wrestler, The Rock, he did the dramatic turn. And he
looks like the kind of guy who watches a lot of wrestling. But
yeah.
Um,
The Rock does that dramatic turn. He looks up and then he turns back to the camera.
yeah. But no, I mean, the big thing is just he was talking conservative talking points. Anything to deflect from
The
what's
truth.
happening. Well, that's just it about the truth. The truth is a funny thing. So if he says that the number one killer of children is vehicular accidents, perhaps you could find a funny sourced thing somewhere that would say that, right? June and July 2022, more children died in car accidents than, right? So the truth is a funny thing. And what I wish we could find a way to center arguments on more is find out what those people believe in and then use their beliefs against their talking point, right? Like you're saying guns don't kill people, people kill people. I'm like, okay, well, can you describe for me the people who have committed the mass murders over the last 3 years? Like what's that demographic breakdown? All of them. Don't break it. Don't, all of them. What's the demographic breakdown? Right? Make them go to the thing that they're talking about. But it's hard to do that. Media is not inclined to do that. Like the guy, Marlon, you saw the post that I shared about, Jesus said, get your swords and follow me.
Yeah.
Right. And they use that to justify why you should have guns. And I'm like, that's a stretch.
Yeah, that's a real stretch. That ain't just a stretch. That's just taking something out of total context.
Right. And Jesus didn't say to his followers, take your sword and knock everybody down.
And I have yet to see anybody have a mass sorting.
Or a handgun shootout. Don't know, but mass killers, when the last time you heard one happen with a handgun? Never.
No, we had one just recently with a handgun. We did.
Yeah, we did.
It was one of them. He had a extended magazine.
I'm talking about just a regular run of the mill.
But still a handgun. A handgun.
But
right?
he modified it, right?
Well, you can buy an extended magazine. Clip goes right in. And you go from having 8 shots or 10 shots to having, 30.
So,
it's crazy,
one person went on a mass shooting with a handgun, which
but handguns are actually
rare that you took the
it's always
the market.
Yeah, the market handgun and just went.
No modifications, nothing like that, and just go in.
But the thing is, guys, the number one firearm attributed to death for children and adults is the handgun. The handgun is number one, right? Because a rifle is really hard to turn on yourself. You can do it if you try real hard. Kind of hard to do. Shotgun, similar situation. Pistol, a kid can just pick up your gun and boom, it just goes off, or it's real easy for them to pull the trigger. There's so many things. The handgun is the number one killer. It's just that the thing that we get the most press about because it kills the most people at one time.
Yeah, I'm talking about mass shootings.
Are those rifles?
Yeah, I'm not.
Right. But if you take all the quote unquote assault rifles off the market, you will still have a lot of gun deaths because we have a lot of guns.
More guns than people.
And that's why the argument needs to be more focused on gun control. And I
agree.
And I agree with people who go with the assault rifles and blah, 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 and everything else. But I don't want you to take your eyes off of it's still a version of a gun.
I'm trying to get
still
people
a version of a weapon. It is what it is. It's a version of a weapon. I don't want you to get into the concept of assault to rifle to shotgun to it.
Yeah, I really wish people would focus on an issue from the standpoint of what is the desired outcome and then work backwards, right? Because if your focus is you want less gun deaths, then we need to focus on how do we control access to the weapons themselves. You know, how do we increase liability for the weapons? How do we start tacking on the things that would make them safer and less abundant? I don't agree with banning assault rifles per se. I'm not against it, but I'm not really for it either because there's too many ways, too many loopholes to adjust. So now an assault rifle is just because of what it looks like. Okay, well, we'll change what it looks like. Or I think I told you guys before, especially when it comes to like these AR-15 things, it all depends on what that butt stock is. If it's an actual butt stock, it's a rifle. But if it's an arm brace, it's a pistol. It's the same gun. The only thing I changed was the back of it, right? So they'll play games with you, you know, and I think that's part of what slows down the whole process. But me, I'm like, make it so you have to register them, right? Unless you're a criminal, why are you upset about registering your weapon, right? Somebody sold it to you, so they know what they sold you. So stop with this whole, well, the government doesn't need to know what I have. It knows what car you have. It knows where you live.
They know your social security number.
Thank you. It knows your birthday. I mean, come on, y'all. So you have to register your weapon. You have to insure your weapon. Your cost of insurance can go down if you have training. Your liability requirements can go up depending upon what type of gun you chose to get, right? You want to get a bolt action rifle for going hunting? Liability insurance is pretty low. You want to go get an AR-15? Insurance premium goes up through the roof. I mean, get what you want, but you're going to have to be held accountable to that which you wish to have. You know, plus, I would love to have full disclosure, I'm an armed citizen, right? So I would love to say where we marry technology with this stuff. I mean, make it so I can have a ring that if my ring is not on my hand, the trigger will not pull, right? That's not space age technology, folks. If the ring isn't present, the trigger lock won't release. So now my child can't just grab my gun, right? And the gun enthusiast was...
It costs money to do that, and the manufacturers aren't willing to do it.
No, but that's just it. That's just it. That's the beauty of it. I'm not saying don't sell the other guns. I'm saying make these available too. Yeah. Now the gun manufacturer makes money both ways. So the manufacturers just want to make money. Give the people their choice. Yeah, no. You will find that more people would be inclined to have that type of protection than they would to have the one where there's nothing, right? Because there's going to be families that raise their children from 5 years old, how to respect a gun, how to use a gun, and all that stuff. They're not going to want that type of technology on the gun. But you're going to have people like me or city people, quote, city folk. Well, we'll be like, no, we do want these controls because I don't want somebody to be able to steal my gun and go do horrible things, right? I don't want my kid to have a bad day at school and take my guns to school, right? So I just think there's things we can do that make sense, that cut across all these groups. But what we have is an elected class. Once they get elected, they don't listen to none of us anymore.
Nope.